Hey everyone, it is good to be with you today. I'm Wendy Pope on Read Through the Word, and it's February 16th. And we're going to take a deep look into the element of the lampstand in the tabernacle that was placed in the holy place. Not the Holy of Holies, but the inner, but not the inner, right? Can get confusing because there's so many pieces to the tabernacle. I can't even imagine pulling that down, taking it apart, and transporting it everywhere. Wow, so much there. I put a lot of notes here, and I'm not going to read everything. I'm going to let you guys study and look at them. But I thought it was important before we dove into the lesson to understand that this lamp stand, crafted out of one piece, amazing, with 7 lamps representing the number of perfection, gold, which was the precious metal, all in one piece, representing unity between God and his people. Also symbolized perpetual worship. The light never went out. It let the people know that God is always watching and providing security for you. That light is always on. I remember coming home as a young child, and even as a growing child, and a light being on in our house. I never walked into a dark house. I didn't even walk back to a dark room. My mom always had a lamp on in my room, and she had a light on in our family room. So when I walked in, I felt safe. And I thought of, wow, how cool would it be to be way out in the desert, insecure of all things, knowing that your food's coming once a day, the water supply is iffy, but I can look over there and I can see a flickering light. And that's reminding me of my security and the watchfulness of God. And I just love that. I love that picture. I want us to think of, and kind of transition and thinking of this lamp being the foreshadowing of Jesus, being the watchful eye and the care that he takes over his people, because he's at the right hand of God right now. When he resurrected from the grave, he ascended to heaven, and he is at the right hand of God. He is watching. He's constantly interceding for us. And he is there. He is the light of the world, John 8:12. But he also tells us in Matthew 5:14, you are the light of the world. Like a city that cannot be hidden, no one lights a lamp, then puts it under a basket. Instead, a lamp is placed on a stand where it gives light to everyone. And notice that in the description of the lamp and how that lamp was supposed to be constructed, that lamp was supposed to send light forward. And I love that word. And I wanted us to just kind of play on a couple words today with forward and inward, and thinking about us being the light of the world and us being a reflection of Christ, and answering, am I truly a reflection of Christ? A forward is directing in a position in advance. It's moving ahead. It is a condition of advancement, well advanced. And I love the last part of the definition, ready, prompt, and eager. Isn't that interesting? To be forward is to be ready, prompt, and eager. It's directing in an advanced position. Inward, on the other on the other point, is proceeding or directing inside or interior. It's situated within or inside. It's internal, pertaining to the inside or inner part, private or secret, closely personal and intimate. Well, you might be thinking, well, I do have a close and personal relationship and an intimate relationship with the Lord. His light is tucked inside of me, and it is private, and it is in some way secret because we have an intimate relationship. Yes, we do. And I'm not saying we shouldn't. But at some point in our walk with the Lord and in our faith journey, that light has got to come from being inward to outward. We've got to have enough confidence in our faith to allow the light of Christ to shine through us in everything that we do. Even if we don't ever say a word about Christ, which hopefully we will eventually have sturdy faith legs that give us so much confidence that we can just talk about Jesus to anybody and everybody. But that light's got to shine forward. One of my favorite things to do is, and I've just been brave enough to do this in my faith in the last few years, is when I see someone that's just shining, that glows, whether it's at the bank, at Walmart, maybe it's the server that's taking care of me at a restaurant, whether I'm alone or with friends or with my family. I will say, you have a beautiful smile. Oh, thank you, they say. You just radiate. Thank you, they say. And I say, you love Jesus, don't you? I do. I do. And most of the time they say I do. Sometimes they don't really know what to say. And so I've caught them off guard. Who's this old lady talking about Jesus? And am I allowed to say anything about Jesus? But for the most part, they say, yes, I do. I love him. He's done so much for me. And so our light should shine forward. Yes, we should develop that light inside of us internally in an intimate way, but ultimately it should shine forward. We really have three choices. We can snuff his light out. We can steal his light, or we can share his light. And I pray today that just looking through all of these points and all of these bullet points and all these verses, that you'll be challenged today to not steal, not share, not steal and not stuff, but to share the light of Jesus. Even if you don't say a word, let your face tell the world that you love Jesus and that Jesus loves them. Take care. We'll see you next time on Read Through the Word.